Hey there, fruit pizza lovers. Do you want to know the secret to creating a fruit pizza made with whole wheat flour? Well, I am Amy from A Red Spatula, and I have all the answers that you need. This recipe is one that I absolutely love. It came from an original recipe that I've had for years and years that used only refined flours or all-purpose flours. Now, I wanted to change it up a couple years ago, and so I decided to turn this into a little bit of a healthier recipe. And what that means is there's no need to recipe test on your own. I have already done the work for you. Today I'll be sharing 4 tips to help you create a healthier fruit pizza that still tastes really amazing. So let's go ahead and get started. And as always, just remember, if you have any comments, questions, or anything like that about this recipe, drop it down in the comment section and I will respond as soon as I can. All right, so fruit pizza is made from a sugar cookie base, and the type of flour that you use in this cookie matters. I have found over the years that I prefer whole wheat pastry flour. It comes from a soft winter wheat, and it's very similar to like a cake flour or an all-purpose flour. It's a low protein flour. I tried a lot of different wheat flours to get to this, but let me just tell you, this is my favorite. That's the first tip. My second tip is, and this is, my family prefers this, especially in my friends, they love a ratio of whole wheat flour and refined flour. So that's what I use in the sugar cookie base. I tried a lot of different methods when I did this. I did a 50-50, but my family prefers a 25% wheat and a 50% refined flour. I'm going to put this down in the description below, and I'll give you a few different options of what to use as well. So now that we've talked about the flour, the ratio, let's go ahead and let's get started making this. So it's just like any other cookie. You're going to start by creaming your butter and your sugar. But the thing with this is you don't want to over mix it because you don't want to make it too light. You want your sugar cookie to be a little bit dense. Once the sugar and butter are mixed together, add in your egg and vanilla. And at this point, you never want to over mix this. I didn't speed up my video or anything on this because I want you to see what this looks like start to finish when you add the eggs. You can see I mix them for just a few seconds and then it's done. And once they're in, you're going to add your flour blend. And again, at this point, we are only going to mix it until it's just incorporated. This is not sped up or anything because I wanted you, again, to see exactly what it looks like start to finish. You can see the minute it starts to really incorporate itself, the dough is going to start to stick together just a little bit more than it has been. All the flour is incorporated, and that's all that you need. Do not overmix this. Otherwise, you're going to wind up with a tough cookie. Okay, and once that's done, I just take it into my hands, I kind of form it into a loose ball, and then I put it onto my parchment lined baking sheet. Now I start pressing this out from the center out. What's really important about this is that you want to make sure that it is the equal thickness all the way around. And depending on what shape you choose, I did round. You can also do, you could do triangular, you could do a square, you could do a rectangle, you could do anything. Press it out and just make sure you kind of tap in the edges like I'm doing so that you don't have any raw edges like that. We take that off and we're going to bake it, and then we're going to start with our cream cheese frosting. This is a blend of cream cheese, butter, powdered sugar, a little bit of milk, and vanilla. Now, if this is plant-based, of course, you can use a plant-based butter and cream cheese. Once that's all mixed up, we're going to start on our fruits. You can see which ones I've used here, but honestly, sky is the limit here. You can use anything that you want. I did kiwi, strawberry, grapes, raspberries, and blackberries. I've also added nuts into mine as well and really like those. The key is, of course, is to make sure that your fruit isn't too thick. Otherwise, that's kind of hard to eat on your fruit pizza. Now, once the base is baked, it's cooled completely. You don't want this icing to melt. You're going to spread the icing over it, and I like to make sure that I get this all the way to the edges because you need something for the fruit to stick to, but I also love that balance of cookie and the icing and the fruit. Now, when you're designing your fruit pizza, you can do it however you want. There are millions of different ways that you can line this out, but I wanted to show you what I did. I almost always start with strawberries on the outside. I just kind of like that triangular shape and then the crescent shape of the kiwi. One thing that's important, of course, is to separate out your colors. So I've got red, green, that dark blue color, and then I go with red, a green again. And then I'm going to come back in and I fill in with some green in here just for a little bit of color. And then last, I finish out with these blackberries around the outside. I just like the way that it looks, but this is a personal thing. Of course, you don't have to do it the way that I did it. Now, when you're cutting your fruit pizza, I like to cut it right down the middle. And what I do is I try to maintain the integrity of my design work as much as I can when I'm cutting this. So you can see I kind of move my berries just a little bit. And when I take out that slice, it still is going to be absolutely beautiful. Now last, you can see this slice here. It's got a really nice blend of the cookie base, a thin layer of icing, and then the fruit. All right, so I can't wait to hear your success stories when you try and make this fruit pizza. I know it's going to turn out beautiful. I know it's going to turn out perfect, and I know that your friends and family are going to love it. Don't forget, I would love to hear your success stories. I would love to hear questions or comments that you might have. And don't forget to subscribe. I would love to see you back at my channel for my next video.